Hello everyone, it's time for reading and I'm back with our strategy of characters' response. Okay, so if you remember from last week, we are still continuing on with describing the character's response to major events and challenges. Okay, so here we go. Mirror words. I can describe the character's response to major events and challenges. Mirrors off. Very good. So the key word is major events, okay? So we want to make sure that we are picking out the most important parts of our story, okay? Just like last week, I do not have an anchor chart for you today, but you do have an anchor chart that is on your Google Classroom. And so you can complete that with me. You can kind of write down what I say and then you can go back and complete it because I'm looking at it on my computer. And so we will kind of work through it together. So our story today is titled Tara and Tiree, Fearless Friends. Okay, so looking at the title page, we know that Tara and Tiree are dogs. Okay, so we're going to read about two dogs and how they are fearless friends. Okay, so fearless means that they do not have any fear, so nothing really scares them. They're brave. Okay, so here we go. When Jim was a boy in Canada, his family had dogs. Jim loved those dogs. They were like part of his family. When Jim grew up, he still loved dogs. He learned how to train them. He helped dogs learn to be good. He always said, there is no such thing as a bad dog. Training dogs became Jim's job. Okay? So we've learned that Jim is a character, and then we've got Tara and Tiree. Or all the dogs, sorry. Jim had two dogs named Tara and Tiree. Tara was mostly black. Okay, so this one's Tara. Tiree was mostly gold. Jim loved them both, and they loved him too. Jim and his dogs liked the wintertime. They had good coats to keep them warm. They played in the snow. They went for long walks. They liked going out, but they liked going back in too. It was good to sit by the fire and listen to the wind. Jim's house was by a lake. Every winter there was ice on it. One day Jim went for a walk out on the lake. Tara and Tiree went too. The dogs loved to run across the ice. It was very cold. Jim was ready to go back home. Then, all at once, the ice broke. Jim fell into the cold, cold water. Jim called for help. No one was near. No one could hear him. But Tara and Tiree heard Jim and came running. Jim wanted the dogs to stay away. He was afraid for them. Okay, so this is a major challenge in the story, okay, a big problem. So Jim has fallen into the lake. So if you look on your anchor chart, the challenge, it says Jim fell through the ice on the lake. So what was Jim's response to him falling in the lake? Okay, he called for help, but did anybody hear him? No humans heard him, right? But who did hear him? Tara and Tiree heard him. So if you look at event number 1, no one was near the lake. Okay, so no one was near the lake. So the response to that is that Tara and Tiree came running. So they came running when they heard him screaming and yelling for help. And so they are there to help him. But what does Jim tell them? He tells them to stay away because he was afraid for them. Okay, so he's kind of in a dangerous situation. But Tiree loved Jim. She wanted to help. When she came near the hole, the ice broke again. Tiree fell into the water with Jim. The water was so cold. Jim knew he did not have much time. Jim tried to help Tiree get out, but the ice broke more and more. Jim hoped Tara would run away. He did not want her to fall in the water too, but Tara did not run away. She wanted to help. First, Tara got down low. Then she came closer little by little, and the ice did not break. Okay, so this is another event that happens in the story. Tiree falls into the water with Jim. Okay, so what is the response to Tiree falling into the water? Well, it says Jim tried to help Tiree get out, but what happens? The ice continues to break, right? And so then Tara comes and she gets down low and she inches little by little, but the ice did not break when she did that. Okay, so let's see if they can get out. Jim put out his hand. Tara got very close. Then Jim got hold of Tara's collar. Jim held on. Tara pulled back, but Jim was too big. He was still in the cold water. Then Tiree did something very smart. She walked on Jim's back up and out of the water. Tiree was cold, but she was safe. Did she run off the ice? No, she loved Jim too much to run away. Tiree got down on her belly like Tara. She got close to Jim. Jim held out his other hand and he grabbed onto Tiree's collar. The two dogs pulled back hard. They slipped, but they didn't stop. Slowly, they pulled Jim up onto the ice. He was safe. So this is another event that's on your anchor chart, okay? It says Tara and Tiree both got on their bellies. So what was the response to them doing that? What was the effect of them getting down on their bellies and getting closer to Jim? They were able to pull him out because when they were down low, it doesn't put as much pressure on the ice. And so it was able to stay solid and not break. So dogs are smart. Tara and Tiree had saved his life. Soon they were all back in the house. They sat by the fire until they were warm again. Jim always said there is no such thing as a bad dog. Now Jim says something else too. There is such a thing as a brave and wonderful dog. Jim is sure of this because he has two of them, Tara and Tiree. So that's the end of our story. Super quick, super good, but has a good little lesson. So I hope you guys were able to complete your anchor chart. If not, go back and finish that for me and get it turned in. That way we can get you a grade. If you're still confused on character response, reach out to the virtual teacher and she will get you some extra help. And so hopefully we can get it all figured out because it's a great skill to learn. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Make sure you're doing all your work for me, please. And we hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.